everyone. Happy Friday. Today, I am going to talk about a topic that I think a lot of people may wonder what I'm doing sharing. And I've actually had a couple of people ask me that, like, do you think that sharing your success with your network and your people is a good thing? Or do you think that it's going to be something that turns people off? And so I am, as you guys know, I'm all about speaking the truth, and I will explain a little bit more if you didn't hear about the podcast episode. So I was just featured on Rick Mulready's podcast, and it was all about how I went from 10,000 to 30,000 in 5 months. And this whole episode, so to back up a little bit, Rick Mulready is my mentor and my business coach, and somebody that I decided in July I wanted to hire and join his mastermind. So I'd been following Rick for 9 months previous to that, listening to his podcast nonstop and trying to really learn Facebook ads. It was a process of not only studying like a lot of stuff that I didn't know that I wasn't good at yet, and getting on the phone with Facebook ads and like doing all the stuff that I like, that maybe a lot of people wouldn't have been willing to do. But I was very set on the fact that I knew if I wanted to grow quickly, I had to do something differently. I had to get in front of more people and in front of my ideal customers. And so I committed to Rick back in July. And it was the most money I've ever spent on myself in terms of my development. It was, and I'm super happy to share with you guys. I think that, I'm an open book when it comes to this stuff. I think it's really important to be open and honest with this stuff. And so I spent $10,000 to be a part of his mastermind. And this was, as I mentioned, started back in July. So it was a 6-month mastermind. And so although that felt scary in the beginning, I was very confident that I would if I could get out of it, how to learn how to put myself in front of my ideal customers, if I could help more people, that it would definitely all be worth it. And so obviously from the title of the podcast, you guys can guess that it was definitely a good investment. And I'm actually re-signing up again in January to join the VIP mastermind that he's putting on. And my husband, Bill, is going to be joining me as well. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, one, why I share this, and two, the importance of personal development. So the reason that I share this is because it was a long road. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I've been working on wanting to help. In the beginning, I don't even know it. I think I knew who I wanted to help, but I knew that I wanted to help women, and I wanted to help simplify things and make things easier for them. Now, whether that was going to be in the corporate world or whether it ended up like it did, where I'm helping fitness coaches, I always knew that that was my passion. I really love training and simplifying. But I've been at this for really a long period of time. And I would say it started when my husband and I first met about 15 years ago. We took a chance and we moved to Vietnam. I'd worked at fitness clubs for a couple of years, and we wanted to live abroad and see what that freedom lifestyle was like. And so we took a chance. We moved there. We did the online marketing thing. Like if you search scarf tips, I can't even believe I'm telling you guys this. If you search scarf tips, you will see some of the most awkward YouTube videos you've ever seen in your life. And that was me just getting started out. I was doing scarf tutorials. We were selling physical scarf. They were called scarf rings. So we were selling these back, 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more, maybe 12 years ago now. And the journey has continued, and it wouldn't have been without, I had bosses tell me they wouldn't have hired me. I had people tell me that, oh, you want to be in training and development? There's that's never going to happen at this company. I had a bunch of things said to me that I could have taken and it could have shut me down. but I'm very fortunate. I have a partner that really, really supports me in all of my entrepreneurial goals and this need to want to help other people. And so the reason that I share this is because it may seem like, oh, that was easy, like, to be able to triple your growth as a business in 3 months. But what is not there is all the endless hours and time studying and learning and getting all the basis that I needed to be successful. So the lesson here is that everything you're learning in your journey, it's like a savings account, right? It all adds up. And someday it comes together. It really, really does. But if you're so focused on the bottom line and the money coming in, you will find something else that maybe pays better, but doesn't give you the satisfaction that your dreams do. So if you guys have an opportunity, I would love for you to listen to the episode that I did with Rick. I'm really honest, I think, in all of it and explaining the journey that I've come on, but it didn't just happen in 5 months. This has been like a 15-year journey for me in really learning to trust my instincts and to bet on myself first. There were a lot of times when I was in the corporate world that I let a lot of people determine my worth more than I knew how to stand up for myself. And without those experiences, I wouldn't be where I am today. So although in the past, I think I had felt maybe a little bit resentful, I never would have left a situation that I was super happy in. So I can only feel feelings now of gratitude that it worked out the way that it did, because when something is uncomfortable, it pushes you to change. And we all need that uncomfortableness to push us forward to make the decisions we need to make a better future for ourselves. The other thing is that when it comes to the success I saw, like, I want to be really honest with you. The one thing that I did differently in my business is I leaned into Facebook ads. That is the one thing that when it really comes down to it, if I could get in front of more people that were my people, that were coaches, that ultimately is what caused this big success, and doubling down on what's working. And I think oftentimes we complicate things, like we try to make it about what it's not. And that honestly is what I did. Like, it wasn't anything crazy except trusting myself, learning the process of ads, and not being afraid to commit and going all the way in. And the thing is, like, once you start to see some success with ads, like it takes testing to get there, but it's something that you will just never be able to replace getting in front of that many people by sending "Hey girl" messages. You just won't. So that is because I think I actually say this on the podcast, like, that's what I used to do. I used to send "Hey girl" messages to coaches to try to get on enough training calls. And like, the numbers were just not computing. Like, in the beginning, it's what I needed to do, but it did not actually, like, I knew my numbers and I knew that it wasn't going to happen very quickly if I had to go one person to the next, to the next, to the next. Like, it just wasn't going to be helping me build the business I really wanted to build, and to be able to get the opportunities to do what I'm doing now, like speaking at retreats, speaking at fitness conferences. Like, that's what I really ultimately wanted to do. And when you get in front of enough people and enough people start to recognize you, those opportunities come. It doesn't come from "Hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl." It comes from getting in front of a larger audience. So that is what I want to share with you, is that if you are stuck, know that there is a way to do this quicker with ads. And with that being said, I've had quite a few people ask me about this. And that's where, if you've seen me talk about the mastermind coming up, that's what it's about, is how to get yourself up and running with a sales funnel, and then using ads to exponentially grow your business. That's what it really is about. So that's the story. That's the story behind this. And I think that one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to share with you guys is that, you know, it can be made to I think success sometimes can be made to be seen really as complicated. And really, when it comes down to it, I think a lot of entrepreneurs have been working at it for a really long time. And then all of a sudden, things click in and it just starts working. And just to give you guys like an idea, in this mastermind that I'm a part of, you know, there's a few of us, like usually we're all spending about 10 grand a month in ads. Like it obviously, we didn't start there. Obviously that takes time, and you get there, you start to see what's working, and then you can really lean in. But those sort of numbers, eventually they won't scare you. And it's just a matter of testing things, seeing what's working, and then putting more money into what's working. That's ultimately what it is all about. So the moral of the story is just don't give up. Stick to what's working and double down on what's working. Ultimately, you will get to where you want to go if you follow those steps. That is really all it really takes. And I think the other thing I started with is about the personal development piece. Guys, I can tell you every time that I doubled my salary from when, like, for example, I started off I was training general managers and all that sort of stuff. You know, I think I started at like 45,000 a year. And every time I wanted to increase my wage, I always hired a coach. Like I hired a business coach. And from that position, I was able to move to a district sales manager. Again, I had a business coach who helped me move to another company, and I close to doubled my wage there. And then I moved to the president of a fitness company, in which I doubled my wage there. Like every time I have seen a significant increase in my finances, it has been because I've hired someone to help me get there. I think too often we fool ourselves and think if I don't spend the money, I'll get there quicker. And the truth is that if someone has got there, someone else can lead you there without the pain, without the heartache. I know it can feel painful to think like, oh, I'm going to spend money on myself and my development, or I'll just keep reading books. Like, let me ask you, how is that working for you? Are you where you want to be? Because if you're not, it is going to require you to step outside of that comfort zone. And yes, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for all of us. But you look at any big online marketer, anybody that is, you know, at a level that maybe you aspire to be. You look at Jenna Kutcher, you look at Amy Porterfield, you look at Rick, my mentor. They all have coaches. They are all part of masterminds. They all do the work. And the first decision to do that is always the scariest. But I promise you, if you do what your coach says and you work towards executing and making sure that you get everything done they tell you, that is where I've seen the most success in my career over and over. This isn't just a one-time thing. Like it's repeated itself over and over. And the same with them. The people, I think, like the amount that you spend on your development, it directly aligns with how much your bottom line will be at the end of the year. I truly, truly, truly believe that. So if just reading is not getting you to where you want to be, and you're not happy with how your sales are going or that your paycheck at the end of the day, just know that you need to do something different. Because if you want a different result, we all know we have to do something different. And pick someone you want to learn from. There's so many people out there, so many coaches that can help you get to where you want to be that have done it before. So just have an open mind to it. The thing is, I really think a good coach, like your investment will pay off within a 6-month time period or less if they're, you know, if you really go 100% in. And that is always been my style type. If someone can eliminate the overwhelm in what I need to do, and then I can just execute, that is when I'm my best. So if you are someone that is just like me, that gets overwhelmed and then you get into analysis paralysis, you need a coach and you need someone to help you, guide you along that way. So thank you guys so much for watching. I would love for you, if you have heard the podcast, definitely leave a comment below. And I am just absolutely thrilled to be serving you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. And if this really resonated with you, if you're thinking about doing something different in January 2020, the start of a new decade, make sure to check out ashleyshaw.ca/mastermind, where there'll be more details coming over the weekend about what the mastermind, the manifestation mastermind, is going to be about, and how I'm going to be helping fitness coaches just like you get your sales funnel set up and then absolutely expedite the process of getting in front of your ideal customers with ads. All right, guys, thank you so much. We will chat with you guys soon. I hope you guys all have a really great weekend. Thanks so much.